Welcome back to the Real Estate 401k Show. I'm your host, Mike Weinstein, alongside Justin Frederick. Ryan Gertis is on vacation, which is kind of perfect because it's kind of what we're talking about right now. But you're going to want to text the word cabin to 623-AZ-RECON. That's cabin to 623-AZ-RECON. This is the time of year that people, if you're from out of state and you've not spent a lot of time in Arizona, this is going to come as a shock to you that we have the largest growth of ponderosa pines in the entire nation.
It's wild.
Let that sink in.
Everybody sees pictures on magazines of the desert here.
And the sorrel
like,
cactus.
It makes it look
cacti.
so hot, and we have huge forests.
There are some incredible destinations in the great state of Arizona to get out of the heat. And for a lot of you that are residents here, you take advantage. You might go up to Flagstaff. You might go up to, I don't consider, Payson is cooler, but that's not getting out of the heat compared to, where you have a place in Munns Park, which is outside of Flagstaff. I have a place up in Pine Top, which is considered the White Mountains.
You have to get above the rim.
Good point. You got to get above the rim. And it's addicting. You go up there and you're like, man, we would love to get a place like that. I remember when my wife and I, we just a couple weeks ago, celebrated 26 years.
Oh, wow. Congratulations.
Yeah. And I remember, gosh, it was, I don't know what year, 2003 maybe or 4, that I moved my parents out here from Southern California. And they immediately, I moved them into Pebble Creek.
Okay.
Which is a 40 and over adult community, different from Sun City, which I think is 55 and above. And if you really want to know the difference between Pebble Creek and Sun City, Pebble Creek, you're in the parking lot to get into heaven. Sun City, you're in the waiting room. That's the difference.
Whoa. Wow. No filter on him, guys.
And so they're next door neighbors. They had a place up in Flagstaff. And so my wife and I had no money. And we had little kids, or we had one little kid, and they would just let us use their place. And I'm just told her, I said, one day, I'm like, we can barely afford the house that we live in now, but this is our dream and this is our goal. And then in 2020, we bought our first cabin, and it was amazing. This is a great time and a great market to consider going out and buying a second home.
I agree. And my story is very similar to yours. My family's had places in Munns Park since I was 2 years old. So started with my grandparents, and then my parents took over my dad's mother's place, and we were staying up there. And then my family kept growing. I had 2 dogs, 2 kids, then 3 kids, and they were finally like, So we ended up buying a place in 2020 as well.
We still have never done the swap.
We haven't.
And we're not talking about spouse swaps. We're talking about me stayed in Munns Park at your place, and you stayed.
Nobody else thought that either.
I just like to bring it out.
Bring it up. There's nothing better. My cabin is about 100 minutes from my house, door to door, so less than 2 hours, door to door. Get to go up there, much cooler weather, the pines, the wind, the golf courses. It's just absolutely wonderful, and it's a dream come true, right? It's in a different world. It's slower pace, and so we spend a lot more time with each other up there as a family, and get more one-on-one time. And I just feel like that's what it's all about. It really does create more memories that way, and absolutely love it.
All right, and before we continue, we want you to know, because we're going to paint this picture, we're going to get you excited about it. We have the ability to help you make a second home dream come true. We're going to kind of get into some of the financing and how you offset some of the financing. But as you know, my wife and I, we recently became empty nesters,
Yep.
and I could do a whole podcast on that.
I'm sure you can.
Like just sitting looking at each other, I'm like, boy, we're spending a lot of time with one another, right? It's interesting. So we just went up to our cabin. So my wife, she wants to learn how to golf.
Oh, awesome.
So we
That's
got
cool.
this 4-seater golf cart. My one son, he moved back to Japan, so I got his golf clubs, which we got at Costco. Packed them in the car. I go, these are going to be your golf clubs until we know that you like this,
Good
and
idea.
before I'm going to spend the money to go get you fitted and go get you custom clubs. And so, first thing we did, we got up there, went to the pro shop. She dropped $300 of my money. She's got a hat, she's got a glove, a sweatshirt, and all this stuff. And we spent the whole weekend going up there and just putting, learning how to putt.
That's a good
And
start.
then went to the bar. And so she is yet to have a golf experience. This is where I'm getting at, that she's going to love, where it didn't involve alcohol. Like
Oh.
I have.
They go hand in hand.
They go hand, and she knows that now. And then now I'm part of the Elks Lodge. I'm part of the Moose Lodge. Dude, I am taking this empty nesting thing incredibly serious.
To another
We're
level.
playing bingo now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's fun.
But anyways, yeah. So it's a great time. It is a different. It is a different lifestyle. So let's. So for me, I think for me when I got it, it was the memories I wanted to create with my kids. And so I want to get into the financing aspect of it. It's different, obviously, if you go out and buy a house in Maricopa County that you're going to live in. If you're doing FHA, you're probably looking at 3.5% down. Conventional, ideally at least 5% down. It's different with second homes. Now, let's get into some of the financing and how that looks.
Yeah, so minimum down is 10%. However, interest rates are going to be much higher. Costs are going to be pretty high to obtain a 10% down second home. They're more in line. They are in line with investment property rates. So once you start getting over those 20% ranges, you're going to be looking at not only much higher rates, but points that are going to be on top of that, so charges. However, if you get 25%, it's more like 25% is like the beauty number. That's the perfect spot where you're going to get a really good rate on a second home. It's going to be very affordable. It's not going to be too much outside of conventional primary residence pricing. But 20% down, you're still going to have a higher rate. But yeah, second homes, they require you to occupy the property 14 days out of the year, and that's a Fannie Mae rule. So it doesn't say that you can't rent it. It just says you have to occupy it for 14 days. So my family, we were only getting about, let's just say 8 to 10 weekends a month in the cabin, whether that be winter or summer. So we decided a couple years ago to start Airbnb in it. And it's actually been one of the best investments I've ever done. It's net us a significant amount of money per month, with little effort due to having a property manager. So I've been very, very happy with it, very pleased. Obviously things get broken, things come up missing,
Sure.
but with the amount of money that we're netting on these properties, it is way worth going in and having to buy a new couch too. It's actually kind of cool. Like, oh, I'm getting a better couch now.
Yeah.
So yeah, we have fun with it.
So yeah, and that's the other thing I want to get into. And again, I love going up to the White Mountains. I love showing properties up in the White Mountains. And if you're interested in the Show Low, Heber Overguard, Pine Top area, I'm there. I need you to give me an excuse to go up there. Ryan, the same thing with Munns Park and Flagstaff. He has the ability to show homes up there, and so forth. But that is a decision and that is the solution for a lot of people. It is very hard right now, in my opinion, to pay top dollar up there and get an Airbnb situation to fully cash flow or break even. But it can help considerably offset your monthly nut. And so now, in essence, if you go that route, we never did, because we actually just used ours a lot. And now, my wife and I, our policy this summer is, if Wednesday night rolls around and we have no plans for the weekend, no showing homes, Thursday we're going. That's just what
awesome.
That's what we're doing. But I often think about maybe I should start doing Airbnb and just help offset, because for me it was the insurance.
The insurance
and the property
is hefty,
taxes. Started going up a little bit. But yeah, so it's just a great option. I just want people to understand that it's very hard. Now, maybe if you're putting 25% down, you can get really close to breaking even. But doing an Airbnb, there are property managers up there. There are people, this is what they specialize in. What I love about, what a lot of people don't know about Pine Top, and what makes Flagstaff so great, is you can also Airbnb it during the winter, because Flagstaff obviously has incredible skiing. People don't know that Pine Top is 26 miles, and I consider it a better a place to ski.
I've never been to Sunrise, but 26 miles is much closer than it is from Munns Park to the mountain to Snowball. Snowball takes us about an hour to get to from the cabin, and if there's snow on the ground, it's even worse. But I've never skied or snowboarded Sunrise. I've heard great things about it. I've heard there's a lot more runs.
There's a lot more runs, but I just tell people, if you're gonna do it, rent your skis ahead of time and bring them, and get your lift tickets ahead of time, because their computer systems there are 50-50.
Yeah.
You don't know if you're gonna be able to get your lift ticket when you show up there.
Sure. But tell me this. I mean, one of the coolest parts about having the second home for us is spending the holidays at the cabin. Getting the kids out with the snow. It's your place, having the fire on, sitting back and watching a movie at night with the fireplace on, just that little nip in the air, but you've got the blankets on, and it is absolutely incredible to it's one of those aha moments when you're looking at your family and you're like, I'm actually living this right now.
I know.
And you're just, you take a step back and you kind of look at everything and you're like, this is so cool.
The other thing where people go, okay, Mike, that's great. I might Airbnb it. I'm going to offset some of my costs, but now and I'm going to advise you, talk to your accountant. But once you start renting it out and doing Airbnb or using it for investment purposes, your tax write-offs. First of all, now you have a loss every single month. Every time you get in the car and you go up there, if it's in an LLC, every time you get in the car and you go up there,
it's a business cost.
It's a write-off.
Yeah.
Every time I get in my car, from the moment I get into my car, go up there and come home, I put everything on my business account. It's all a write-off for me.
Yep. I mean, it's a big deal. So is your car in a lot of cases, guys. Yeah. I mean, it depends on what you're doing. Talk to your tax accountant about it, but there's a hole you can get into that can easily cover the difference of what you're paying on if you're not making it all up with Airbnb. I learned a lot from that, and it's been fantastic.
All right, well, I'm going to give everybody some inside scoop. Now, at the time that we were in the studio, this information is accurate, but we have a off-market soon to become on the market, brand new build in Happy Jack.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, if you don't know where Happy Jack is, just look it up. And this guy just I helped him buy the land, and he pretty much just, he had some crews and just designed it and built it himself, and he's now looking to sell it. Never been lived in, brand spanking
How
new.
big? How many bedrooms? How many baths?
It's like I think it's a 3-2, about 1,400 square feet.
Oh wow.
I'm totally just making that up.
Okay.
I don't know. I'd have to
That
go
was a
back to my notes.
conservative estimate.
Yeah.
All right.
We haven't actually got into listing it yet, but I know it's coming on the market. But if you're interested in looking at a second home or even relocating to the mountains, whether it's the White Mountains, the Flagstaff area, we would love to help you. We do a lot of business up there. We're always looking for excuses to get out of the heat. So all you got to do is just text the word cabin to 623-AZ-RECON. That's cabin to 623-AZ-RECON. All right, we mentioned, Justin, you've got a place in Munns Park. How long does it take you to get into Flagstaff proper for Munns?
18 minutes.
18 minutes. So I've never been to Munns Park, but in my understanding, there's not a ton of restaurants and stuff there. But when you go up there, your guys' favorite place, I shouldn't say you guys because your family, they want to go eat. You just want to drink. But what's your favorite place to go to?
Yeah. Yeah, so we have now in Munns Park, I think we have 5 different restaurants, which is
I didn't know that.
For the longest time, we had one that would shut down early. They own the market, but there's a place called Sportsman's Pub and Grill, and Sportsman's has changed Munns Park dramatically because they offer it's a big beautiful bar made out of pine. It's beautiful inside. Lots of TVs, so you can go there and watch sports and hang out there. But they also have unbelievable pizza. They got great food. The burgers are incredible. So it's a great stop. And so we've kind of switched where we were going because we used to go down to the clubhouse all the time, the country club there for the golf course. But now we're hitting Sportsman's up. It's good prices and just excellent food and a great environment. And we have a lot of friends that go down there, so we don't even know who's going to be down there. We're going to get excited to go down there and say hi to everybody.
Ours for the White Mountains for Pine Top is a place called the Lion's Den.
Okay.
And it's exactly what it sounds like. This is like Cougar Central. They always got live music. It's one night you could show up. It could be kind of like a biker's bar. Next night you could show up. It could be bingo night. But during the summertime, they got a big outdoor area with a stage. So the daytime it is fantastic for families. There's a lot of good restaurants up there. And more opening up there, but there's very few that if you took and transplanted and put them down in the valley that I would actually go to.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah, 100%.
You know, and so this is one of them. And I remember one time we were driving down the road. I'm like, it doesn't matter. There's always the parking lot's always packed. It's amazing.
Yep.
But we're driving down the road, and there's a freaking line outside,
Like a mountain lion?
a line of people.
A line.
No,
Oh, it's like a lion.
We were talking about the Cougars earlier. No, there's just a line of people. I'm like, what's going on? Well, Pink Floyd's Roger Waters has a place up there.
Oh, cool.
And every once in a while, he'll just show up and say, hey, I'm going to be at the Lion's Den. And I got to figure out how to be in the know.
Yeah.
Like I know when the line's already a mile long. I gotta know before that
the
line
creates, right.
All right. Well, again, we'd love to chat with you about buying a second home up anywhere in Arizona, but more importantly, up in the mountains, whether it's the Flagstaff area, Lake Havasu, the White Mountains, Happy Jack, got a lot of them. All you got to do is text the word cabin to 623-AZ-RECON. That's cabin to 623-AZ-RECON.